Orlando Terrelong, and Senators Cavan Gale and Apka Fitzenley. Champion Deputy Leader MP Desmond McKenzie will marshal the proceedings. That's the Western St. Andrew Constituency Conference this Sunday, Edith, Dalton, James High School, 5 p.m. Hosted by Standard Bearer Corey Dunkley. JLP active and strong. We choose Jamaica. See you there.
Champion, him a real champion. Them can't run, them can't hide, them can't do what he gets. Andrew, why mash them up? Labor right, why mash them up? Why? Them can't run, them can't hide, them can't do what he. Labor right, I go mash them up. Labor right, why mash them up?
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 to 9 p.m. for our live broadcast of the St. Andrew Western Constituency Conference at Edith, Dalton, James High, Sunday, June 22. Hear from Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie, Standard Bearer Corey Dunkley, alongside Members of Parliament Matthew Samuda, Favour Williams, Orlando Terrelong, Senators Cavan Gale and Abka Fitz-Henley. It's the St. Andrew Western Constituency Conference at Edith, Dalton, James High, Sunday, June 22 from 6 to 9 p.m. right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the West Kingston Constituency and the Jamaica Labour Party. Due to the broadcast of the St. Andrew Western Constituency Conference on Sunday, June 22, Jamaican Dads, Immaculate Moments and Baha'i Faith will not be aired.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide at 5. It's a Sunday afternoon and we are pressed into work because what? It's politics time, election campaign, the race to 32, as we have dubbed it here at Nationwide 90 FM, is on. Yes, we're calling it the race to 32. Why 32? Because that's the magical number of seats you will need to form government. 63 seats on offer later this year. The first party under the first past the post system to get the 32 will form the next government of Jamaica. And both political parties are being very, very active now. They're all over the country. And here at Edith Dalton James High School at 40 Herrick Avenue in Western St. Andrew, the Laborites are gathered for a special Area Council 1 meeting. This, as a party, as I said, is gearing up for the general election, constitutionally due by September. Western St. Andrew, a seat that has been dominated by the People's National Party. It has held the seat for 10 consecutive terms. That's an average 50 years. Yes? The Laborites have seen victory here possibly once or twice. Yeah, in the early beginnings of parliamentary democracy in Jamaica, back sometime in 1944, yeah, when Madame Rose Leon won it for the first time for the Jamaica Labour Party, and she retained it in 1949 for the Labour Party. Since then, it is color orange in Western St. Andrew. And if you don't know Western St. Andrew, I'm sure you do, but you may not know that you're in Western St. Andrew. Duhaney Park, Patrick City, yes, Washington Gardens, Corville Gardens, and there's a reason why it's called Corville Gardens. Corville named after the late Deputy Prime Minister David Corr, who held Western St. Andrew for a long time for the People's National Party. Hence the name Corville. When it was built, it was named after him. And since over the years, I must tell you, David Corr has held it for the PNP. A former Foreign Minister, Dudley Thompson, has also held it for the PNP, as well as a former Speaker of the House, O'Neill Tibbles Williams, popularly known as O.T. Williams, and it is now currently held by the opposition spokesman on logistics and industry, Anthony Hilton. Riverton Meadows is also part of the constituency, so too New Haven. Yes, it's the western belt of the corporate area that takes you out to Ferry. Yeah, parts of Spanish Town Road on either side. And of course, as I said, Patrick City, Duhaney Park, Washington Gardens, even the foot of Red Hills. Right? So at the last election, Hilton held it for the PNP by just over 1,530 votes. It has been dominated by the PNP, but it is showing signs of leaning more and more towards the Labour Party. But the PNP has held it firmly over the years. Some people think that Anthony Hilton could be vulnerable. I don't know. Yes, this election is going to be an election of surprises. I tell you that. Yeah, but Western St. Andrew is considered safe PNP territory. The Jamaica Labour Party is now being represented by a young attorney at law. Yes, a young attorney at law, Corey Dunkley. Yes, he's carrying the Labour Party banner this time round. Yes, so the deputy leader of the Labour Party, Desmond McKenzie, is here. Hundreds of Labourites are here at the Edith Dalton James High School. Edith Dalton James, for many of the younger ones may not know, was a great teacher. Yeah, a great teacher. And she was also a leader in the Jamaica Teachers Association as well, Edith Dalton James. So we are going to begin with the platform. Let's listen to, is that Corey Dunkley? No. We're trying to establish who is the speaker there. Okay. All right, so we're going to take our first break and come back with more. We're going to hear from the platform speakers as well as a lot of the Labourites who are here. You know, whenever I go to these meetings, I look at the demographics of the audience, and I'm surprised every time. Yeah, there's a contrast between PNP crowds and JLP crowds. The JLP crowds tend to be younger, female, a good mix of male and female. The PNP crowds dominated by more mature Jamaicans, dominated by men. Yes? And it is something that I take note of. All right? So we're going to take our first break and come back with more.
The race to 32. Nationwide 90 FM's coverage of the 2025 general elections. Coming soon.
If it's important to you,
it's important to us.
Let Nationwide 90 FM be your first choice for your live broadcast.
We'll drive traffic to your company, increase your publicity, and work with your budget.
Reach your target audience with high-quality audio both on air and online.
Nationwide 90 FM should be the driving force to execute your live broadcast.
Contact our sales team today at 630-1210 or 630-1216.
Nationwide 90 FM live broadcasts covering your events and reaching your target audience.
Public opinion.
Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are a Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a JLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion. The voice of the people at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the annual Realign Business and Investment Conference 2025 at the Jamaica Pegasus on Wednesday, June 25. Join us for the Realign Business and Investment Conference featuring keynote speaker, Ambassador Audrey Marks, Ambassador Janet Alyssa, and visionary investor David Mullings. This event focuses on investments and partnerships, powering economic prosperity, engaging global Africa. Don't miss this opportunity to connect, invest, and grow. Be part of the movement. Realign your future today. So tune in to Cliff Views Online June 25 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the annual Realign Business and Investment Conference 2025 at the Jamaica Pegasus. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Entrepreneurial Partners Limited.
Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning.
All right, welcome back to the Edith Dalton James High School, the Area Council 1 meeting of the Jamaica Labour Party, principally to introduce its candidate for Western St. Andrew, attorney at law Corey Dunkley. The Labour Party making a push for Western St. Andrew. It has been in the PNP column for 10 consecutive terms. Anthony Hilton, the incumbent Member of Parliament, winning it by 1,532 votes in 2020. The Labourites are hoping and working, they tell me, to switch it, to flip it, which would be a political shocker. Yeah, we have with joining us the cluster manager for the Waterhouse Division of the constituency, Davia Bryan. Good evening, Miss Bryan.
Good evening, Mr. Hughes.
And we have the road manager as well for the Dunkley campaign, young Rashawn Blackwood. Good evening, Mr. Blackwood.
Good evening, Mr. Hughes.
I was just saying before I invited the two of you that I noticed the young people in the crowd. Yeah? What is it? Right? The Labour Party is seemingly attracting more young supporters who are actively in the political vineyard as well. Davia, I won't ask you your age. Yeah? But you're the cluster manager. How long have you been in the political field for the Labour Party?
All right, I would say I've been around since birth because my grandmother served as a council caretaker for the Waterhouse Division for 13 and a half years. So politics is something that kind of came naturally for me. It's almost like a birthright. and then seeing.
So you grew up in the politics?
Basically.
In the Waterhouse division?
Well, in the Waterhouse division and also in the St. Andrew Western constituency.
And all those times, the PNP has been winning it? All
of those times.
So why you never joined PNP?
No, man. Orange don't fit me, no Cliff Hughes.
You're true. Green fit you?
Yes. Suits me well.
It suits you well.
You think so?
Yeah, you look good in it.
I think so too.
So tell me, what you do as cluster manager?
So as the cluster manager, I am in charge of all the PDs in my division. I am aware of how many votes come from each PD in my division. I also stand as an advocate for the residents of my division. I report directly to our campaign manager and also our Young Jamaica chairman, Roshan Blackwood. And just all together.
So you're a critical part of the organization.
Yeah.
Especially between 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. on election day.
Exactly.
So you give the updates hourly in terms of turnout, which of the voters have voted, who haven't.
Yeah, something like that. Because we also have many working parts to the well-oiled machine, and we also have runners, indoor agents, outdoor agents. So they all work with me, and they give me updates.
Okay.
And I provide those updates so we can know our standing in the polls.
Road manager, yes. Mr. Blackwood, what do you do as road manager? What's your key function?
Well, they would call me the candidate's sideman.
Okay.
So wherever you see the candidate on the ground, I should be there.
Yes.
So I do the advocating. I reach out to the persons prior to the candidate being on the ground to make sure that it's organized and welcoming for the candidate.
Yeah. So you do logistics.
Technically, yes.
And in a constituency like this, with very strong pockets of PNP support, I can think of Riverton, or is that changing?
We're working on it.
You're working on it. Riverton is still solid PNP. What about Duane Park, where we are?
Duane Park, I would say we have around 65% of labor rights in Duane Park.
Versus 35% PNP?
I would put it there. Others would say differently.
Where do you think, Mr. Road Manager, you have to focus on to bring home Corey Dunkley on election day?
Yes, so based on the studies from prior polls, Seaview division and the Duane Park division would be dominant for the Labour Party. So those are the areas that we have to put maximum focus in, because you realize that a lot of times, even though these spaces has a lot of labor rights, they're not actively engaged. And I don't want to get in trouble, but I believe prior candidates wouldn't have put in that effort to get all the labor rights engaged. So you find that some people decide to, hey, they're not coming out because this man don't include me, no regard me. So here is Corey Dunkley trying to change that. He's going for the youth, but he's keeping the roots also.
How challenging is it so far, Davia?
So far, coming off of what Roshan said, the previous candidate, it's been a lot of ground to cover, but we pride ourselves on proper representation, which the persons have been lacking in the constituency and the division. So now that we're here, we're representing, we're on the ground, we're engaging with our constituents. We know what's going on. They have numbers they can reach out to. We have formulated WhatsApp groups. So we're well connected, and the future is looking pretty bright for my candidate.
What about what does Corey Dunkley bring that you didn't have before, Roshan?
I believe Corey Dunkley brings the capability to give you the net to fish. So instead of giving the handouts and, rallying up everybody with some $5,000, he said, here's a job fair. So coming next month, the 2nd, there's a job that is in place, courtesy of Corey Dunkley. So persons from the divisions or the constituents and all can be actively engaged in employment. So Corey is not just for the talk, he's for the action. He's in the space to work. He came in, you would say late, but he came in working.
Yeah. And for you, Davia, What's the message? Why should people vote Labour?
Why should people
PNP
vote
says
Labour?
time come. You've been around for 9-10 years. Isn't it time for a change?
Well, I would say look at our Prime Minister's track record from 2016 until present. Look at all the changes he has done for infrastructure.
For example, okay, go ahead, let me hear that.
Let's talk about education. He has continued what Bruce Golding started with free education to some sense. Medical facilities are looking better on behalf of Mr. Tufton. He came in and he did the work. You know, it's not the hassle anymore when you go to the hospital. If you don't have any money, you're not looked on. Also, he got me here as a young person, so that's why I would say vote for Labour. He's for the youth. He's also, as Rashawn said, for the roots.
For you, Rashawn, what's the message? What's the message, Rashawn?
Yes, and while we can look at the track records and the facts, I can talk from a personal experience.
Yeah.
I'm a young person, and
How old are you?
I am 28 years of age.
28?
And I have since benefited from a loan from the NHT to purchase a home. So I'm a proud homeowner under the Andrew Owens-led administration as a young person.
Yes.
Gone are the days when the culture was, we can't get a house from NHT, people at your NHT all long. I don't have that to say.
Mm-hmm. So for you, it's home ownership.
It's home ownership.
What about crime?
Crime, big deal. I mean, persons are feeling more, even in my division, more safe. Because, civil sometimes tend to have crime, rampant in the space.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people feel more safe. They can come out, interact.
Right.
And so he's doing a great deal on crime.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rashawn. That's Rashawn Blackwood and Davia Bryan. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
All the best.
Thank you.
Our pleasure, sir.
Good. That's where we're going to take our next break and come back with more from the Area Council 1 meeting here at Edith, Dalton, James High School with the Jamaica Labour Party.
Stare at the sun, I know it is a blessing, yeah. Lift up my eyes to this, I'm blessed, oh man. Ooh. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I'll find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can.
Tune in every Monday morning at 6:53 a.m. in This Morning for Living Well, a feature that promotes healthy living by giving you tips on how you can improve the quality of your life. You're always on the go, and you may not have the time to learn how to take care of yourself. So share a few minutes with us every Monday morning at 6:53 and listen to Living Well on This Morning.
Living Well is brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
In today's fast-paced world, standards are the silent force behind the quality, safety, and reliability we often take for granted. From the food we eat to the buildings we enter. Since 1969, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica BSJ has led the charge, shaping our national quality infrastructure under the Standards Act. Whether it's measuring fuel, calibrating medical devices, or ensuring business competitiveness, standards matter. That's why we're proud to bring you Standards Matters every Tuesday at 8
8:10 a.m. during Nationwide This Morning. This engaging series educates, empowers, and explores how standards drive national development and open doors to global markets. That's Standards Matters, every Tuesday at 8:10 a.m. during Nationwide This Morning. Stay tuned.
Hey, follow me now, see ya now. Hey, upset her. See how upset her. Score outside. Running. I'm a winner. You know the time. I'm a winner.
All right, welcome back to Edith, Dalton, James High School in Western St. Andrew. And the Laborites are in a jubilant mood. They just welcomed the Finance Minister, the Member of Parliament for Eastern St. Andrew, Favour Williams. And I have the pleasure of being joined now by Warren Newby. Warren Newby, the Jamaica Labour Party candidate in Northwest Clarendon. Good evening, Mr. Newby.
Good evening, sir, and good evening to your listeners.
I was watching your formal introduction of the candidacy of Warren Newby up in Frankfield. It was last night.
Yes, sir.
Frankfield in Northwest Clarendon, and it was impressive.
Thank you, sir.
You got a very good and enthusiastic turnout.
I was most overwhelmed by it.
Tell me, in terms of the political geography of Northwest Clarendon, Frankfield is one of the key urban centers?
Yes, it is so. It is now secondary to Spalding's in terms of population and the sort of commercial activity, but it used to be the main town of Northwest Clarendon.
Yeah. So it's now Frankfield, Spalding's. That's it, the two divisions.
Frankfield, Spalding's, followed by Thompson Town, and Rich's division is more linear. So you have people who will shop in Frankfield from Rich's. Some will go to Thompson Town, and others will go to Spalding. So it's that odd division between the three.
And the incumbent narrowly won it in 2020. What was the margin of victory?
132 votes, I think. Yeah.
Wow. So it's a battleground seat now.
It is, in fact.
Because Richard Azan is a veteran PNP representative. He's been MP for 2 terms?
3 terms, in fact.
3 terms?
Yes, he has done 3 terms.
Wow, and he's now seeking a 4th.
He is seeking a 4th.
That's an uphill struggle for you.
Well, that is the reason why people should not re-elect him.
What are the key issues there?
Roads, water.
Those two. I heard you last night putting a lot of emphasis on the lack of quality representation of the people of Northwest Clarendon. And I noticed one thing was obvious. You know, none of you from the platform while I was watching mentioned the incumbent MP, Philip Enriquez.
Well, you know, Philip has tried, but he too had some challenges, much of which is not public. Philip is from a Jewish family.
Oh, yes.
And one of their custom and tradition is that they don't speak publicly about their challenges. They deal with them internally. And some of that might have spilled over into how he has been able to manage and empathetic to the position. I am also minded that the people would have elected for a particular quality of service, and I'm trying my very best to fill that void.
Yeah. How much of an uphill struggle is it going to be?
It is very tough. Richard is an established name and performer in the space.
Yes.
And we have to now contrast that and present a case to the people. We are confident, though, that we will be able to overtake him.
Okay. Warren Newby. A lot of people hear the name. You have been a senator. I think you were a parliamentary secretary under the Golding administration. But outside of that, you had apparently left the political front line for a while. Tell us, who is Warren Newby? Well, introduce yourself.
I'm a rural boy. I was born and raised in the Alexandria area of St. Ann.
Southwest St. Ann.
Southwest St. Ann. I still operate from there. My principal economic activities is bauxite mining, waste management, and tourism. I've been a sort of serial entrepreneur, so I am participating in several small businesses that we have formed into a group called the Beacon Group. And so it's family-owned, family staff, family-oriented, and I am head of that operation.
So your products, what are your products?
Hardware, construction, mining, waste management, both sewage and garbage.
Oh, okay. And that is based in Alexandria?
It's based in Alexandria.
Okay, so that's your full-time job?
It's my full-time job.
How you balance that now? I heard you last night saying you have a young family, how difficult it is as a father, and you paid tribute. One of the highlights for me is when you said last night that you paid tribute to those who helped to take care of their children. Yeah, that told me a lot about you as a dad.
Thank you, sir. It's probably the hardest part of the politics, that you're away from your children.
Yes.
In their very vulnerable states.
Yes.
And you have to depend on surrogates to fill that sort of void. I'm trying to balance as best I can. The campaign period is particularly tough because we are out there 7 days a week.
Yes.
But I'm confident that over time we will work it out in a way that it will shift back to a more balanced position. Today, the politics get more than the children do get. So that is why I'm very thankful for the people who are helping me to care for them.
How many children do you have?
I have a bit of children.
What?
I have a bit of them.
And you also pay tribute to your wife, Sasha.
Yes, Sasha is great. Sasha is an attorney at law. She has her own practice.
So I should
Dalton.
say you married up.
I married up. I married up. Yeah, she's great. She's fabulous. And she's a good partner. She understands the struggles of this life.
Yeah.
And I have her 100% support.
Yes. How is Clarendon looking for the Labour Party?
The Labour Party is going to carry Clarendon. I have no doubt. My colleagues are active and they have served well. Robert Nestor Morgan to the south of Northwest, Dwight Siblis to the northern eastern border, then Colonel Charles Jr. down to the south, and of course in central Clarendon, where we anticipate that the Labour Party tradition is going to be upheld.
Yes.
And of course, in a very unique situation, what is happening with Robert Chin, who has gone over to southwest Clarendon and is making a bid there.
You think he will be competitive?
Well, what I hope for is the best showing of the Labour Party. Too often, like the seat that we are in today, we have not paid sufficient attention to them because of the voting patterns over a long period of time. And it's time to break through that mold for people to understand that all 63 constituencies are pertinent and matter to the Jamaica Labour Party.
But Southwest Clarendon has been loyal to the PNP for well over 50 years.
Yeah.
Loth and Cousins strong, deep ties and roots in the constituency. A man with resources. Robert Chin, having failed in South Manchester now there, you think he will be able to make an impact there?
I am positive that Robert went into South Manchester with less than 3 weeks before nomination day, and was able to prevail. So if there's anybody that will have an impact, Robert.
What is the case that the Labour Party is making to voters who are still undecided? A large block of JLP and PNP voters are voting straight party, but there's a slice of the electorate who are to be convinced whether they should go with the Labour Party for a third term, where people who don't like giving more than 2 terms. Why should they give the Labour Party a third term?
The first is performance. Our Prime Minister has delivered on the commitments that he has made to the Jamaican people. Crime is being reduced. Murders are down. All the other crime figures for many years kept trending in the right direction. And for the last 2-3 years, murders have joined it. Today, we are looking at a 45% reduction in murders in Jamaica. It cannot be overstated that the government has made the right investments. They have put the right strategy and the right team in place to ensure that we can live in, freely and safely. So, there's a case for performance that can be made by the Labour Party, and it is a very strong case. The other thing is how united the party is. There's no arguments in the Labour Party, save and except around policy, right? People will debate issues and come to points of view. But today the party is so united, so unified in its approach and strategy and so on, and we are all coalescing and doing our best across the country.
All the best, Warren Newby in Northwest Clarendon. It is one of the seats that the entire media fraternity will be watching closely on election night, because so much is at stake. The PNP needs to flip 18 seats to win. The Labour Party has to deny them that. And one of those the PNP is banking on to flip is Northwest Clarendon. Will you be able to hold on to that 132 vote majority that Henriquez got in 2020, or grow it? I don't know. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. My advice to the PNP, don't depend on Northwest Clarendon.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Appreciate you.
Let's
see you on your team.
Good. That is Warren Newby, the Jamaica Labour Party candidate for Northwest Clarendon. The meeting is well and truly on here now. We're watching the platform closely. We're going to go there in a little while. Stay with us.
I'm winning right now, and I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. Our Thanksgiving right now, cause we're winning right now, I'm winning, I'm winning. Hey, watch on up. Hey, I'm a walking W. Learn from the else. Turn them in a medal in a trophy and bells. Every day you see we with them on our next level. Great records like we cracking eggshells. And every single ounce of effort we expel. It's all about progress, cause we have to excel. I watch them looking like success, we dress well. Oh, another knockout for the ring the next spell. I'm about to send my haters a card to get well, cause I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it, but that's the whole gist of it. I hate it on the beauty when we didn't have it, cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Informative informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
Public opinion.
Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We all are Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a GLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Come back to Edith Dalton, James High School, and the Finance Minister, Favour Williams, the MP for Eastern St. Andrew, has just taken to the podium.
Mackenzie, Senator Cavan-Gale, Councillor Myers, and all other councillors who are here, all the members of Parliament. Let me acknowledge as well our Area Council Treasurer, soon to be MP Vassal that you heard from earlier. All the persons who are here from Young Jamaica and from G2K. It is good to be in St. Andrew Western. And I had to practice that because I kept saying St. Andrew Eastern. But it's good to be here, Laborites, with our JLP candidate, Corey Dunkley.
Shout. Jamaica Labour Party. Ready, sir?
Time come for Corey Dunkley to be the JLP MP for St. Andrew Western. Let me say that again. Time come for Corey Dunkley to be the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Western.
No mix and mingle. Remember we full of chips like Pringle.
I bring you greetings from St. Andrew Eastern. And you should know that I sent my music van, Corey, to give you some strength here in St. Andrew Western. Laborites, you know, they say, not us, they say, the PNP say that St. Andrew Western is a safe seat for PNP. But I want to tell you that in 2025, that is only PNP PR message. The mats don't bear them out any longer. If you look at the record, in 1993, the PNP had about 12,000 voters, people who actually voted for them. In the general election in 1993, in 2020, I am here to tell you, only 50% of that number voted for them. Their voter base has been declining in St. Andrew Western. It's almost cut by 50%. If you go to Wikipedia, I'm sure you know what Wikipedia is, and type in St. Andrew Western, it will tell you that Anthony Hilton was elected Member of Parliament for the PNP. And during his tenure, he has been a cabinet minister. That same Wikipedia will tell you, and I take no pleasure in saying it because it's people who live in St. Andrew Western, but Wikipedia says the PNP MP Hilton oversees one of the most run-down constituency in the country. And he is often criticized for the lack of work in what they call the PNP stronghold. I say to you, if you look at their history, the PNP history in St. Andrew Western, they have not shown much development here. And so I say to all the PNP voters in St. Andrew Western, time come for a switch to the Jamaica Labour Party. Come on and do your part. Vote for the best. Vote for Jamaica Labour Party. It's been too long for the PNP to sit and continue to hope for development with a PNP MP. Time come to vote JLP in St. Andrew Western. Time come for Corey Dunkley. And I want to say to Corey, the trend is in the JLP's favor in St. Andrew Western. The trend is in the JLP's favor in St. Andrew Western. And why do I say this? I'm not saying it off the top of my head. If you go back to 1993, the PNP used to beat the JLP by 7-1 in 1993. But if you look at the voting in 2020, it is very close to 1-1. So, candidate Dunkley, St. Andrew Western is winnable for the Jamaica Labour Party. Vote for Labour. Grab your neighbor, vote for Labour. Labourites, the things we have to do are the following. Let's focus on the organization. Get your worker core in place. Corey, begin the refresher training. Be on the ground. People want to see you, touch and feel you. Be out there. Go to JLP and PNP because the PNP are waiting for a good leader. They are waiting for the JLP's Corey Dunkley. Labourites, spread the good news of economic and infrastructure development in Jamaica. Lowest unemployment in the land. Our debt to GDP is trending down. Rural roads, farm roads, and urban roads in communities are being fixed. And it's not just because of election. Check the record, we've been fixing roads since we've been here in 2016. Tell the young people they can go to Hart to learn a skill, and they don't have to worry about bus fare or lunch money or registration fee. This government made sure that anyone who wants to go to Hart can do so, and they get a stipend to help with their bus fare and lunch money and buy a shirt or two to go there. This government is making it possible for our young people to upskill themselves. Labourites, the murder rate in Jamaica is significantly down. It is down. Shout labor rights.
Shout, 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 shout.
Let me say it again. The murder rate in Jamaica is at a level we have not seen in our lifetime. It is a result of the hard work of the government and the men and women of the joint security forces and the investment that this government has made to better equip the men and women with technology, with more cars, better uniforms, more respectable working conditions in our police stations, and upgraded training. Labor rights, rural school buses are coming, more of them. Go on to social media. You will see how many of them are already here at the wharf. This is not something we're promising because we're in an election. They are here already. Children are driving in them safely, and parents know that they're in an environment where there's no music, right? They have their heads together and they're going to school. More of those buses are here and more are on the way. No more loitering after school in the town square. No more late and hot and sweaty for school, because you can ride in the comfort of the rural school bus. Our children will be able to sleep a little longer in the mornings and be home earlier. But most important, our parents will be able to save money in their pocket, because you know, in rural Jamaica, it costs way more than in Kingston and St. Andrew to pay for transportation for your children. This government is doing that. The first in its history. Shout labor rights.
Shout, 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 shout.
Labor rights. You have a government that is committed to continuing the development for you, your families, your communities, and Jamaica as a whole. And so, when the PNP say time come, I say time come for the PNP in St. Andrew Western to recognize that they have been taken for granted for a very, very, very long time.
Make them move and go, them for number one party, the island say.
Time come for St. Andrew Western to vote in a JLP MP, and that MP is Corey Dunkley. And so I say again to the PNP voters in St. Andrew Western, time come to drop your non-performing PNP MP and choose an MP that is a young man. The Bible says, I call on you, young man, because you are strong. Corey Dunkley. Corey Dunkley. Choose Jamaica.
Finance Minister, MP for Eastern St. Andrew, Favor Williams in her element. And we are going to switch now to the BITU President General, Senator Cavan Gale. Good evening, Senator Gale.
Good evening, Cliff. Good evening.
You're busy doing political work, not union work.
Spending some time spreading the gospel about what is going to be the future of Jamaica and the Jamaica Labour Party government.
Tell me, from the union's perspective, yeah, why labor and not PNP?
Why labor? So recall us coming through from 2016, Cliff, when we would have taken reins to rebuild Jamaica, to create employment, to create the infrastructure and investment development. Then we went through a crisis of a pandemic.
Yes.
And during that crisis of a pandemic, notably, no public sector worker lost their jobs. So it was a question of security of tenure for those employees. And then coming out of that, we were recognized and rewarded those public sector workers with one of the highest increases that you have ever seen. Outside of that, there would have been the continuous movement in the minimum wage for the poorest sector of workers, recognizing that there is the need to increase the remuneration of these lowest set of employees within the sector. That would have given rise, Cliff, to this reduction in poverty that we're seeing now. And then you would have had the improvement in employment, a great reduction in unemployment rate that we have seen, which has created some kind of challenge for Jamaica, because as you reduce unemployment, the employment levels become more competitive. And if you are continuing to attract investment and that kind of development, you're going to have to look at where you're going to get workers from. But then there's another understanding that we continue to train workers through heart for not only the traditional employment, but for new jobs that are emerging. Now, with all those changes that are taking place, only a Jamaica Labour Party government that has steady hands, critical leadership under Dr. Andrew Holness and his team, that you would want to see in the next 5 years taking the reins of the country and the society.
Does the government get enough credit for that, though?
I think one of the shortcomings is that we have not portrayed ourselves in terms of the work that we have done. But there's a high level of performance. And, that is the difference between performance and those who have promised. But I don't think we have been receiving sufficient credit for that. And it may be because we are too busy doing the work that we are not really recognizing ourselves and the true worthiness of the JLP government.
And in terms of the argument that people are not feeling it, we're not feeling it.
I think that's a distraction that has been demonstrated by the PNP. The opposition they have nothing to offer. So when you have nothing to offer, you have to create a distraction. People are feeling the difference. People are seeing the difference. People are welcoming the difference. And outside of that, people are looking forward to the transformation that is going to come and the changes. And they believe that only the Jamaica Labour Party with the steady hands and approach can continue to lead this country.
I don't know if you saw today's Sunday Gleaner about the favorable popularity of the two leaders. Yes. And the Prime Minister 7.5 points ahead of the opposition leader. But yet, the narrative of that story suggests that it was insignificant.
So the narrative of that story is to create another distraction. If you are leading, you are in fact leading. And that is recognized based on the pulse that is taking place in the country. Personally, for me, the kind of polls I watch is the poll on election day. Yeah? This is only a snapshot and it's a leading up, but it is outside of what we're feeling. When you go on the ground, when you go into constituencies, the kind of reception that the leader receives is phenomenal. And it tells you that Jamaica is more than warming for Andrew Holness. Jamaica is hot for Andrew Holness.
You don't think that the third term syndrome, meaning people's reluctance to give governments more than 2 terms, is going to be a handicap?
The third term in my mind is always the most difficult to win. Yeah? Because, sometimes different political parties differ in terms of their approach. Some get relaxed. Fortunately, lately, that is not for the Jamaica Labour Party. I am looking on it, not as a third term, but what will the next 5 years bring for Jamaica? 5 years of transformation. 5 years when there's going to be changes that is taking place in the world now. And you really have to have a level of steady hand in dealing with those changes. We don't know the impact of those changes taking place in the world and how it's going to impact Jamaica. So you want really a political party and a government that has been tried, tested and proven to take Jamaica towards that kind of transformation. Transformation that is going to take place in the economy, transformation that is going to take place in the labor market, the digital transformation and technology. You really need steady hands and a steady leadership. And Jamaica cannot depend on a political party that all it does is to criticize and object to want to lead you into the next 5 years, which I believe is going to be very critical. And that 5 years can only be suitably taken over by a Jamaica Labour Party administration.
What would you say to those who are still to make up their minds?
There are always going to be people who have not made up their minds or on the fences, who remain independent. The question is, there's a difference between those who offer promises and those who have performed. I believe the judgment in making up your mind is to look at and examine clinically those who have performed. And if you're going to trust your future based on the demonstration of that performance. And that's what I would say to those independent or those who have not made up their minds and those who are not aligned to any political party. Choose Jamaica and choose the performance over promises.
What role does the BITU play in an election campaign such as the one we're now in?
So, we have a very dynamic membership. Some are aligned to us, some are aligned to the other political parties, some are not aligned. What we do is demonstrate our own performance and how we engage with a government that is performing to ensure that that government remains in force. There are a number of consultations that have taken place with our delegates, with our workers, with our members, that would have informed some of the directives taken on by this administration. And so that those consultations are far-reaching and they have proven to be the benefit of many workers.
Will it be a close election?
In my mind, Cliff, I don't think it will be a close election. It may not be the result that we have seen in the last election. But I believe more people are turning to the JLP. And, I'm seeing a good victory on the part of the Jamaica Labour Party.
How will that look? A good victory?
A good victory would clearly, I'm looking at, in my mind, about 40 seats for the Jamaica Labour Party. And I'm looking at some of the seats that are in the hands of the PNP that may very well fall in the hands of the Jamaica Labour Party. Maybe that's why I'm here this evening.
In Western St.
In Western St. Andrew.
Okay then. Thank you very much. Senator Cavan Gale is the President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Time for the break.
All I do is stay focused, looking straight forward at the world and beyond. I feel people pulling me down. I feel some pulling me up. I can't get stuck. I just keep moving forward. I got places to go, man. Let's go.
When the Yamagidian started trade, a lot of we got a weeping more. Only the strong will continue. Do you have it in you? 'Cause we've got a journey to go. And when the battle continue. I know you have it in you. I know you have it in you. Hey, the victory is found in truth, like innocence found in youth. Self-defeat is your own dispute, and when you put yourself in your own shoes, it's either you're winning or losing. Don't you get it confused, cause you're starring in your own movie, playing out the role you choose. So stand up and fight if you know say you're right, and know you will never fail. Lifting the scale and the wind shall prevail, and the boat shall forever sail. Hey, there ain't no stopping or cruising, even when they matter than bruised. Outrun all the sprinters and Mount Olympus, my God, tougher than Zeus. I'm a Gideon started trade. A lot of weak heart, a weeping more. Only the strong will continue. Do you have it in you? Cause we've got a journey to go. And when the battle gets sour and straight, a lot of weak heart, a with the end moan. Only the strong will continue. You know you have it in you. You know you have it in you.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, New York and Cali, for the money, power, respect, it's a journey. Some will get left behind, cause in life, you cannot press rewind. Get it right, you only have one first chance to make one first impression that lasts a lifetime. Reputation supersedes itself. Do you believe in hell? Babylon, greed for wealth.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton, weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the annual Realign Business and Investment Conference 2025 at the Jamaica Pegasus on Wednesday, June 25. Join us for the Realign Business and Investment Conference featuring keynote speaker Ambassador Audrey Marks, Ambassador Janet Alyssa, and visionary investor David Mullings. This event focuses on investments and partnerships, powering economic prosperity, engaging global Africa. Don't miss this opportunity to connect, invest, and grow. Be part of the movement. Realign your future today. So tune in to Cliff Views Online June 25 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the annual Realign Business and Investment Conference 2025 at the Jamaica Pegasus. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Entrepreneurial Partners Limited.
Welcome back to Edith Dalton James High School for the special JLP Area Council meeting to introduce its candidate for Western St. Andrew, Attorney at Law Corey Dunkley. And we are being joined by 21-year-old young man, Shamar Bell, and Lavenda Lee, yes, a resident of Western St. Both of you live here in Western St. Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
So let me begin with you, Shamar. Yeah?
Not hearing you.
You're not hearing me?
No.
Oh dear, he's not hearing me very well. Yeah? We're going to sort that out. And you're hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, Shamar, why are you here?
So today I'm here to support Corey Dunkley. So I've been living in Kingston for 21 years.
I mean, you were born here.
So I was born here, live here for 21 years.
Uh-huh.
And I went to George Ellie Primary School and then matriculated and went to Jamaica College, and now I'm at the University of the West Indies.
And over those 21 years, what make you decide that, listen, I'm going to go with Dunkley?
So, what made me really decided? At first, I didn't take an interest into politics. Right? I had a similar mindset as my peers, and I was at school, and my teacher said to me that, Shamar, look, go and do some research on your constituency. And I realized that my constituency was governed by the PNP. And I started to do some investigation how long they were in power for this constituency. And I realized that the People National Party were in power for over 20 odd years. And I saw my parents struggle to carry me to school. I saw where I had to live with my grandmother for majority of my life. And every day she had to complain about the road. Every day she had to complain about every day she had to complain about different situations that affect her. Right? She was talking about whenever rain falls, water will normally come over from Edith and flood her house. And I started to say, you know what, I wanted a voice, but I didn't know where to go and who I can talk to about these things. And I started to go into leadership at school. I started to voice opinion about young men because I went to Jamaica College. And at Jamaica College, it really molded me to be the person that I am right now. Because a lot of men, whenever they face challenges, they don't normally voice their opinion about it. And I said to my peers that, listen, I am going to be that person that will stand up and voice their opinion. And then I matriculated to University of the West Indies, where I live on Chancellor Hall.
Okay, good hall. And Lavender, yes? What do you do for the Labour Party?
I am the scrutineer for the Duane Park Division, sir.
You're a scrutineer?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been a scrutineer?
I've been a scrutineer for 22 years.
22 years?
Yes, sir.
You have seen a lot in those 22 years.
A lot.
What are some of the memorable things you have seen?
Well, for being here for 22 years as a scrutineer, I've enumerated a lot of young people. But in our division where I'm living in the New Haven division in support of the Duane Park.
Yes.
Duane Park division, and my concern there is the road, the infrastructure.
Yes.
The infrastructure, the road need drain, and whenever rainfall, it flood. It doesn't matter how the road fix rainfall, because there is no drain, the road gonna damage.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
On my way here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I got lost.
You got lost?
Yeah, because I didn't know how to find Edith Dalton James. I've been here a couple of times, but the last time was like about 10, 15 years ago.
Wow.
But I drive through Duane Park quite frequently to hit the highway.
Okay.
Yeah, coming from
You're going to
the
Duane Drive.
Right. And Duane Drive is in pretty good condition.
Yes, sir, it is good, but
the off-roads.
Off-road is bad. Some of the off-road, yeah, but they're trying it. I see where Mr. Hilton is trying to do something in back up when they're doing the parkside, like Marlow. That's with Marlow, Hearn, and so he fixed a couple of them. But in my area where I'm living, that's where all the water come down there.
Yes.
So the river need to drag and the gully need to clean.
Yes.
To get the water flow free.
So he's trying.
He's trying.
So why are you not going with him?
No, I definitely. I like Mr. Hilton as an MP, because he's the MP for all of us. It doesn't matter where you are, what organization, JLP, PMP, and OP, he is elected MP for the constituency.
So why are you going with Corey?
No, I've been working for the JLP for 22 years, and I will stick with Corey.
You're just a laborite. Yes, sir.
So that's very interesting. Because if you actually look at the demographic that's here, right, I'm the only young man around the age of 16 to 21 years old that's here. Because a lot of young people are not interested about politics. And so why I am going with Court Dunkley Cordon, sorry. I see where I spoke to him. I see where he's trying to provide opportunities for young men, especially young people in our constituency. And prior to that, right, Mr. Hilton have not provided any opportunities for us, right? Mr. Hilton, in fact, is hinder our development as young people. Sometimes if we actually go in the constituency, most of these young people, men, right? Most of these young people, they are not exposed to opportunities. Most of them, they want to go back to school, but they don't have the finance, they don't have the backing of persons to help them. And sometimes persons deserve a second chance, right? But who is there? There's no one there to voice their concern.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes, I am.
And you're going to be voting?
Yes, I am going to be voting.
You sure?
100%.
What about you, Miss Lavender?
I have life, and when the day comes, I'll be here. I am the supervisor for those PD over there.
Oh, you're responsible for PD in Edith, Dalton,
sir.
Okay.
I am the supervisor for those clusters.
Yeah.
So
I noticed the voter turnout has been getting lower and lower. The margin of victory smaller and smaller. What should I make of that?
Well, Mr. Hughes, enough people are not interested, but I don't know what happened to some of them. But some of them, when they don't got their ID in time, and when election call, they want their ID. When you go to them and say, we're going to get the ID, they say, no, we don't want no ID because we don't want to vote. But when they see the festive and all what is happening, everybody want to come on the voters. But it is too late because 2 times per year the ID has been printed. June and December. So if you miss June, the other catch it December. If election should call today, those who catch December won't be on the list. But those who can get it from May to June, they are here. So we have tried our best. I don't know what will happen this time around. The margin have been closing. Normally used to be over 3,000 votes back in the days. But the margin has been going
it's
down.
It's now down to 1,500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it is a winnable seat.
You think it's not winnable?
Can win every seat, sir. We have got a council here in 2012 when Ms. Joyce was the council, farmer council. She's here tonight.
Yeah.
She won the council division in Duane Park for the longest time because JLP have never ever owned an MP here away from 1980 to the 8th election. Mr. Slega called a stop election. That's the only time we have Pat Stephen here. Otherwise, it always been a PNP constituency. And Miss Young has came here, Joyce Young, and make a big difference. He cut the voters, cut it down from Mr. O.T. Williams. He was the MP here at that time.
Yeah, I remember O.T. Williams.
That's where you're coming from. Coming from
so you're feeling a little more confident this time around?
Well, we're going to try. No child beat a failure, sir. Nothing beat a failure, but try.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lavender.
You can't tell what will happen because the ball is round.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Shamar?
Yes, sir.
It sounds like you may go into politics when you get a little older.
Currently, I just want to be focused on my schoolwork. And so,
what are you studying?
So I'm studying management studies and accounts.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. All right. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you too.
I heard you on the radio, but I didn't see you face to face first.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hughes.
All right.
You have a good evening, sir.
You too.
Yes, sir. Thanks much.
Bye. Well, there you have it. Yes. Miss Lavender Lee pointing out that, listen, she's been a scrutineer for 22 years and she's noticed that the PNP margin in Western St. Andrew has been falling from over 3,000. It's now down to 1,532. And according to her, yes, it's winnable. Yeah? Well, let us see. All right? We're going to take our next break and come back with more.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the annual Realign Business and Investment Conference 2025 at the Jamaica Pegasus on Wednesday, June 25. Join us for the Realign Business and Investment Conference featuring keynote speaker, Ambassador Audrey Marks, Ambassador Janet Alyssa, and visionary investor David Mullings. This event focuses on investments and partnerships, powering economic prosperity, engaging global Africa. Don't miss this opportunity to connect, invest, and grow. Be part of the movement. Realign your future today. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online, June 25 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the annual Realign Business and Investment Conference 2025 at the Jamaica Pegasus. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Entrepreneurial Partners Limited.
Join Nationwide 90 FM every third Wednesday between 9:05 and 9:35 a.m. for JSIF and You during the Consumer Hour with host Nora Gay Banton. Listen to a representative from the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, as they highlight the remarkable project deliverables being undertaken by the agency. That's JSIF and You every third Wednesday during the Consumer Hour from 9:05 to 9:35 a.m. exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Benjamin. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Understand it, the way the system planned. There's no hope, no chance, no loophole, no escape for a sufferer man. Cause every time I lift my head above water and try to save myself from drowning, there's an overnight scheme all worked out, designed to keep me down. Still I'm putting up a resistance. Pull up! Yo! Pull up! Let's go! Let's go!
Nationwide 90 FM. 90 FM. 90 FM.
So I never can understand it, the way the system planned. There's no hope, no chance, no loophole, no escape for a sufferer man.
Welcome back. And we're going to go to the platform now where a member of the JLP's Communications Task Force, Marlon Morgan, is addressing the crowd.
Out in the way they want it to work out. Then get vexed, then pick up them marbles, then turn them back on the team, and them try to tear down. But Corey is distinguishing himself as a good and firm team player, and we big him up every time. Labor rights, Corey Dunkley is an attorney at law by training. This man has a passion for serving people and for representing people. And you know, you have been here for many years, some of you, in St. Andrew Western, and you know that you have a delinquent, a lazy, and a non-performing MP. And so I am here this evening to just give a few punches. But I got a message from Barry Salmon to leave with Anthony George Hilton this evening, Labour Rights. I will look at Anthony Hilton this evening as we offer and present Corey Dunkley to you. And we say, this is no disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect, brother man. This is no disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect. But could you step aside now? Corey Dunkley is here to take over.
Another man wants to take over. Cause you don't know what you
DJ, hold it. So labor rights, when the Prime Minister fly the gate and you here in St. Andrew Western go to the polls, ensure that you are organized, you know where your voters are, and you bring out your vote to deliver in the winning column Corey Dunkley on that fateful night, because he is here to take over from the lazy, non-performing MP. So quickly, labor rights. This upcoming general election is by all indications the most important and consequential general elections of our lifetime. The PNP, Mark Golding and Peter Bunting in particular, them want to win like our dry peas want water. But labor rights, we know what their agenda is. They are a desperate bunch. They have no credible and compelling plans for Jamaica, and all they're doing is running up and down the place, creating mischief and talking about them protesting. Even people who don't have the time to come to Parliament and represent their constituents are out at Hero Circle about them a protest. And they know full well that it was the Public Service Commission, not the JLP, not Andrew Holness, not the Finance Minister Favour Williams, who employed Dennis Strong. They know full well that it is the Public Service Commission that presided over the recruitment process. And so labor rights, we have to be very focused going into these elections. And guess what? Because of the sterling work and the performance of the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party government these past 9.5 years, no other government in the history of Jamaica is able to come and seek a term of office from the people of Jamaica on a platform of record achievements in the way this Andrew Holness-led government is able to do. The government has performed credibly labor rights. We have honored our key manifesto commitments. You will recall in March 2016 when we took office the first time around, we delivered on the 1.5 plan. We gave an undertaking, we even over-delivered on the undertaking, because we have made the income tax threshold go up for everybody, not just for persons earning 1.5 or lower. Labor rights. As we speak, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is wrapping up its Expo 2.0. It's called Transformation 2.0. People, Quality and Technology. And when the Expo opened on Thursday, labor rights, there was a particular guest at the Expo. He is the police commissioner in Bermuda. And as president of the Association of Caribbean Police Commissioners, that gentleman, Mr. Darren Simmons, was able to hail and salute Jamaica for its sterling work and achievement in relation to lowering crime, labor rights. And lo and behold, people from foreign can come and see that we are doing a good job. But a gentleman who is only in the business of bad-mouthing Jamaica and bad-mouthing the government, Peter Bunting, is seeking to give credit only to the JCF and giving no credit for the lowering of crime in the country to the Jamaica Labour Party government. Labour rights, what can go so? As we know, it is said that a man, a king, is crowned not in his country, and it has taken a foreigner to come and recognize what Peter Bunting has sought to discredit, pour cold water on, and overlook. But I tell you something, labor rights. The Expo of the Jamaica Constabulary Force was streamed on the internet. And if you go to the JCF on YouTube and you look at day one of the Expo, go to the 1 hour, 15 minute and 40-second mark in that event, and you will see the Bermudan Police Commissioner applauding Jamaica in relation to a number of significant achievements. And when other people sat in the audience and were applauding each of the achievements, Peter Bunting sat there in the audience and held his hand still, because him no want nothing good for Jamaica. The 44% reduction in murders is apparently not good news for him. And so while other people in the audience were saluting and applauding Jamaica's successes, Bunting stood there and couldn't move himself, couldn't bring himself to applauding Jamaica's good news in relation to national security. But if them think we did done labor rights, serve notice to the PNP this evening. If them think Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party that he leads, they done, make them know, say, we just a come labor rights.
Other things have been done. Other things have been done. But we just a come.
Labor rights, whenever you listen to the PNP, they don't have any message. They don't have any credible plans and ideas to move Jamaica forward. All they're trying to do is to pursue a strategy of striking and tearing down the Jamaica Labour Party leader, because they believe it is their best hope, their best bet, and their best strategy to secure Jamaica House. But the Mighty Diamonds sang a song some years ago as labor rights, and we who are God-fearing people here in the Labour Party, we pray for covering of our Prime Minister. We pray for covering for all our ministers and all our officers of the great Jamaica Labour Party. And I want you, Labour Rights, to pray and hold up our Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Holness. And like the Mighty Diamond say, we pray to the Lord and we say, have mercy on a good man and help him. We
Have mercy on a good man and help him.
Bondsman, not sure that. So labor rights. There is a mass exodus going on from the PNP to the JLP. Take it, let me tell you, labor rights. More and more with each passing day, with each passing week, with each passing month, more and more people who had previously lent their support to the PNP, who were previously members of the PNP, are seeing the light, are seeing the performance and the results before their eyes, and are coming over to join the JLP labor rights. More and more of them are coming over. You will recall, labor rights, that some years ago, we welcomed into the Labour Party fold Kari Douglas. We welcomed a couple years ago Venetia Phillips. We welcomed a couple years ago Ian Miles and Garfield James. And Garfield James has since gone on to be our standard bearer over in the great Westmoreland Western constituency. We welcome all of those new converts, labor rights, to the JLP. And in more recent times, in more recent days and weeks, we note that the PNP's former caretaker in central Kingston is amenable to the JLP. Lawrence Rowe is essentially supportive of us. One of the PNP's most vociferous and strident bloggers and vloggers some years ago, Natalie Stack of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. She is now supportive of Andrew Holness and the JLP. Craig Oates over in Hanover Eastern has since come over to the JLP. Ken Kalame, of course, is the former PNP caretaker. Yes, in the Caldwell division of the Eastern Hanover constituency. He has since come over and has seen the light. In more recent days, Christopher French of the Alexandra division for the PNP in Southwest St. Anne has seen the light and has come over to the JLP. And labor rights, we are Jamaica's party. We are a welcoming, hospitable, and loving set of people. And so we have room under this great tent of ours, under this great umbrella called the Jamaica Labour Party for all of Jamaica labor rights. So whether they are former PNP, whether a man is no P at all, whether a man is a disgruntled PNP, yes, or a disgruntled NDM or former NDM, whatever they are, we welcome all Jamaicans to join the prosperity train and get on board because we are transforming Jamaica labor rights. And labor rights, in demonstrating and exhibiting that we are a warm and welcoming people, we need to remind ourselves of what we would have sung in devotion when we were going to school, and of course when we are at church. So labor rights, when you meet the newly converted persons who are labor rights, the persons who have come over from the PNP and have decided to lend their support to the JLP, or they have come over from the PNP and have decided to join the JLP, we have a simple task, labor rights. Let us greet the former comrades in Jesus' name. Let us show them that we love them in Jesus' name. Tell them we can work together in Jesus' name. Ring your bell and smile. Jesus loves you. Ring your bell and smile. And Jonas loves you. Labor rights. I have one more point to make before I come down. Because we have other speakers, I know a thing set, we can't do wall up the thing and wall up the time. See? So there's a punch and move. Because you don't know one swing at the groove. That is it. We dash PNP one side. Labor rights. The people of Jamaica will be called upon to make a very, very important decision in the near future. There is decision between the PNP and the JLP. You here in St. Andrews Western will be called upon to make a decision between performance as per the JLP and promises and desperation as per the PNP. When you stack up these two political parties' labor rights, it's very clear. It is a case of chalk compared to cheese. Chalk to cheese. We are the people who are achieving the things that have long eluded us here in Jamaica, and we are very, very proud of that achievement, labor rights. For many years, there have been talk about a rural school bus system. Which political party in Jamaica is finally making a rural school bus system a reality? Which political party has made significant reduction in murders a reality? Which political party has made 8 consecutive years of no new taxes a reality? Which political party has made the abolition of student loan guarantors a reality? Which political party has made the institution of a social pension for persons aged 75 and over a reality? Which political party has freed up the training programs at heart and is providing a stipend for transportation and resources for nutrition support at heart and estate? So labor rights, the message is clear. The JLP has been performing. This election must come down to an honest introspection, an honest stacking up between Andrew Jonas on the one hand and a man them called Marky G on the other hand. Can you imagine? Marky G.
No, not them, not that on the level. Not even.
So labor rights. On election day, organize, organize, organize. Know where your voters are and bring them out here in St. Andrew Western and ensure that when the votes are counted, Corey Dunkley is elected as your member of parliament to join the team of hard-working Jamaica Labour Party members of parliament in Gordon House. I love your Labourites. Big up your nice clean self Labourites. One love, Corey Duncan.
Marlon Morgan, one of the leading spokespersons for the governing Jamaica Labour Party, on message, reiterating why Jamaicans should choose the Jamaica Labour Party. Yes, we're coming to you from Edith Dalton James High School in Western St. Andrew, Herrick Avenue, and I'm being joined by two young Labour Party supporters, Ifuela Matthews, there she goes, putting up her finger, and I have Nadia Ebanks and Ifuela. Yes? So tell me what you do, Ifuela.
Well, I'm a delegate and a PD captain, and that is a very, very hard work to do, because as a PD captain, you have to up from 5 o'clock, get your workers together, get them in position for them work. You have to get your runners, the indoor agent, everybody, let them know them position, put them in place, ready for the work.
Who is a runner?
A runner is someone who go for people to vote.
Oh,
yeah.
So they work closely with you. You tell them who to go for.
Yes.
Because
they have the older agents and so that they have the list. So you send them to the various addresses for especially the elderly.
Yes.
Yeah, that they can remember see people who can't walk, people who are blind, and we have drivers also that we use. Put them in the vehicle, take them to vote, take them back home.
So let me ask you, how you know the person you're going for is going to vote Labour?
Well, we don't know what they will vote for, but being that we are from the community,
yes,
born and grow in the community, we know most of the Labourites.
From your canvas?
Yes. We also do canvassing every year. Every time it's election, we do our canvassing.
So you're doing canvassing now?
Yes, canvassing is supposed to be started anytime soon.
Did not start yet?
No, it starts already. It's already, okay.
Oh, so that canvas is going to be used to help you to plan.
Guide us.
That's Nadia,
yes,
right?
Yes, Nadia.
Yes. That canvas is a very, very important.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So how the canvas looking so far?
Well, on my hand, she's from the other side, from the scheme. But on my hand, wow, it's a hard task because we have mostly stronghold on that side.
For the PNP?
The PNP, right.
Where is that?
That is Seaview Garden, phase 1, where the Seaview Garden primary is.
Yeah.
So.
But there are two phases in Seaview Garden.
Phase 1 and phase 2.
So both phases support the PNP?
Yes. It's a mixture. During the mix.
A mix?
Yes.
Okay.
But on the phase 1 side, you have mostly PNP.
Yes.
Over by phase 2, we have mostly Labour. It is mixed, but they are mostly Labourites. Yes.
Okay. So, you're Ifuela? Nadia. Tell me, Nadia, you are PD captain as well?
Yes, I am.
How many PDs are you in charge of?
3.
Oh, that's a lot.
1 cluster.
And how many people, how many voters in that cluster?
Well, in this cluster, based on our canvassing right now, we are not completed as yet, but we don't have a fully number as yet because we are still counting the persons who are undecided what they're going to vote for. So we are working on that as well.
How do you convince someone who is undecided, that they should vote Labour or for Curry?
It's all based on the candidate, what he's here for. So based on questions that we, the worker on the ground, asking, what is it that you're going to put out on the table? And then he explained to us. So from there, we go out and we introduce it, the words that he said to the person, what is going to be done. And from there, we move on.
Yeah. Ifuela, first, you're from Seaview as well?
Yes.
What are the major...
Born and raised, yeah.
Born and raised. What are the major issues for the voters of Seaview Gardens?
major issues.
Yes, of concern to them.
Well, some of them are afraid to vote because the candidates, some of them say them now vote because them not see not now gone. So the major issue is that because over the years, Hilton has been in power and he don't do no work. So that's a major issue for the community.
They're turned off for the politics.
Yes.
And
So what we have to do as workers, we have to go out there like a quarry now, elected quarry, because before it was Darlan Francis.
yes.
He also wasn't really doing anything, so you don't know we have to replace him. So
Yeah.
now comes Corey Dunkley as a young leader. So we have to make sure, so we tell Corey, say, listen to me now. It's the same like how Darlan and Hilton not doing the work, and the people them get rid of Darlan. If you're not doing the work, so we will get rid of you, so you have to put in the work, because this politics is not like 80s politics. This is a new politics, it's a new generation politics. If you're not doing any work, we're not going to vote.
Yes.
And we're going to get rid of you.
Yes.
We need to see more be done in civil guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So how is Corey doing so far?
He's doing fine so far because he go to 9 nights and all of those things. And I was at a 9 night last week, Monday, and I hear a PMP run up to him and say, I feel like I should turn to your side because this is the first time seeing an MP caretaker coming to a 9 night.
Oh.
Yeah.
In Seaview?
In Seaview Garden.
Oh. And how is it in Riverton?
He rep Albo because he also go to 9 night and other things in Ferry. He even go out of his constituency because he went all Majestic Garden, and that's not in his constituency. He's all arounder.
Yes.
So far he's doing well.
Yes. But when somebody asks you as a PD captain, forget Corey, yeah? Why should they vote Labour? What you tell them?
I tell them, look at the work that the Prime Minister is doing. I don't have to say anything about Corey. I tell them to look at what the Prime Minister is doing.
Yes.
And they can relate to that.
What is the Prime Minister doing?
The Prime Minister is doing a lot. Development, housing, road, a lot of things the Prime Minister is doing, and there are more to come.
Oh.
Yes.
But the comrades them said time come.
Time come for Corey to win.
All right, ma'am. All right. Thank you very much. I feel that. And Nadia, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Time come for Corey to win. All right. This is a special edition of the Area Council 1 meeting of the Jamaica Labour Party here at Edith Dalton James High School, and we are going to be joined now by the Member of Parliament for North East St. Anne and the Minister of him have such a long title. He's in charge of economic growth, job creation, water. What else is in charge of, Matthew?
Environment, climate change, and blue economy strategy.
You're a super minister.
No, I work for a super minister who is the Minister of Economic Growth, which is the Prime Minister.
All right, you're being humble. Tell me, after beginning St. Anne,
sure.
How is it going?
Well, I just left two workers' meetings. We had Area Council 3 in Brownstown, and we're having a workers' meeting now in Monique in Southeast St. Anne. The Prime Minister would have attended upon both meetings. Are, I think that would tick the box. They're quite lively, good messaging. Labourites are upbeat, and we're very focused on the steps ahead.
Southeast St. Anne,
yes,
PNP Rural Heartland, never lost by the PNP, even when 1980, when many thought Seymour Mullings would go down, he didn't. Yeah, but is it that the Labour Party is seriously making a play for Southeast St. Anne, or are you really fooling ourselves?
We're a national party, Cliff. We're making a play at 63 constituencies, but the constituency that existed for Froggy Mullings is not the constituency that exists today. It's first of all, it's a larger physical space because there have been 2 or 3 cuts over the last 20 or so years. I think even one predates Shiny Robinson's tenure. So quite a number of years, like a Beecher Town, more urban in nature, would have gone into Southeast Centre. The infrastructure deterioration post former, Deputy Prime Minister Mullins is much worse. The interest in farming relative to housing, we're seeing that in many rural communities, especially one that is on the border of an area that is seen as housing boom, where there has been some price escalation, so people are looking to Southeast. So I think it's a different physical space, certainly. The nature of the development needs is very different than a community that was purely focused on agriculture in the past. So it may have been a sure space at a time. I don't think it's sure at this stage.
And we saw the last results, given it was a COVID election, where the sitting MP barely won by 30-odd votes.
31 or 32.
32 votes.
Right.
So it's an open seat now, but isn't Aidan Peart, your candidate, going in too late?
No, I don't think so. He's been on the ground. He's been working around the clock. I'd say 7 days a week. It's a physically large space to cover. We're not here to tell you that it will be easy, but we're here to tell you that we are making a play for all 4 constituencies in St. Ann. And so far, so good.
Oh, and Xavier Main in Southwest?
Is not in play.
That's not in play.
No.
Danishka Williams?
Good girl, but not in play.
Why? Why?
It's a very strong seat for the Jamaica Labour Party. Xavier Main has offered the sort of representation that is in line with the cultural values of the constituency. It's a very tactile, warm people. It responds to retail politics, which Xavier is very good at. It's just simply not in play. The Labour Party base there has become particularly strong. In fact, it's becoming a worker core right across the hills of St. Ann.
A worker what?
It's becoming the worker core of the Jamaica Labour Party right across the hills of St. Ann and indeed the hills of Clarendon as well. So Xavier is a very strong politician and shouldn't be taken lightly.
Oh, and then, I'm not coming to your one until last, Northwest St. Ann. It seems like I noticed that we in media watch where the leaders go to tell us and give us a good indication of where things are tight, where things are competitive. And I noticed the leader has now been into Northwest St. Ann twice in about 2 weeks or a week and a half. That means...
Well, it's a lovely community. It's a lovely place to visit.
No bother with that, Matthew. The problem is that it's a close election there.
Well, the voting pattern is what it is. It's always been a close constituency. It has functioned in many ways like a weather vane. And I think what you've seen is that the current CEO of the People's National Party is emotively connected to the constituency, and that's where he lost. And I think he has vowed to try and reclaim it. What he has, however, bucked up in is a very hard-working Crystal Lee as a member of Parliament. I know Crystal from our days in G2K. She was my Deputy General Secretary when we were building out chapters, when we were working with very little resources going into 2016. She can't be beaten for lack of work. She's a very hard-working member of Parliament. I can tell you, putting on my water hat, there isn't a week that you don't get a letter, I need this. This is what happened here. This is her attention to detail. Minister Morgan can tell you the same with the roads. Minister Mackenzie can tell you the same with the local government projects that she's asking for. I can tell you even the urban renewal unit at the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation cringe when Crystal calls, because she's midway in several dozen projects in her constituency. She's a very hard-working young lady. She understands rural politics. She came through the council system. You'll recall she was a council in the Retreat Division, then came over to St. Ann. She's a quiet worker, but she'll be fine.
Yeah. And Northeast St. Ann?
Northeast St. Ann should give you 2,700 to 3,000 margin.
What was the margin the last time?
The last one is an anomaly, right? It was post the untimely death of Shiny Robinson. It was a great emotional need to represent, so the turnout was higher even in the JLP base than most of the rest of the country, as people felt the need to represent for their former MP, who was like a mother to many. The average, and I would take out the last election going back to 2001, JLP has won every election on average by 1,700 votes. But we have a below average competitor, and we have a seat that has grown post Shiny's death. So we're now pushing 45,000 votes relative to when Shiny would have entered the constituency at around 31, I think close to 32,000. So it's almost 50% larger in population, but a little smaller relative because some of his seat has been cut and gone into southeast Centre. So it's a different space. It's a little, some of the urban.
So you have to
centers
work harder then, because
you have to work hard.
You don't know who those additional voters are going to go with.
We've been working very hard for the last 2 years, so we have a fair idea of who they are. We have an idea of the issues that matter to them. We've been moving steadily through at a pace to address the issues of concern. Like everyone else, we have road and water concerns. But the issues that we face in Northeast Centre is really related to all issues that come when you have a rapid rate of urbanization.
Right.
So the explosion of the Draxall corridor and its development, the expansion of the room numbers, forcing more persons to come into the space because of the a buoyant employment market. It comes with all of those issues, unplanned settlements. We have land issues to resolve. But it's the only constituency I know of that has every single industry that exists in Jamaica represented there. We even have media, as you know.
Yeah.
So we have mining, tourism, BPO, retail,
food,
shipping, logistics, food. I mean, we're the only constituency in the country with 4 KFCs. We have more sandals than any other constituency in the Caribbean.
Wow.
So there's a great deal of economic activity in this space. The question is, will you develop in such a way that citizens who have lived there for a long time feel included in that development, feel that the economic opportunities don't pass them by, as well as accommodate those who must move in to allow for the continued growth of the community. Now, with any growth like that, you have growing pains. So it's how you navigate those growing pains to make sure that 1,700 average with the growth in population moves to the natural progression of 3,000.
That corridor, the Draxall corridor,
yes,
it has just exploded.
Yes.
What's driving that?
Well, the highway has played a major role. The connectivity between Kingston and St. Andrew and Ocherios is, impatient to debate. In fact, we're going to have to play catch up now with the widening of that Draxall corridor. The Prime Minister has already announced that we'll be putting in a dual carriageway. It won't be a highway, it will be a boulevard that will have points of ingress and egress going all the way up beyond Salem heading towards Discovery Bay. But we'll also be putting in a further leg of the North Coast Highway, which will see an exit at the Golden Grove exit going all the way out to Trelawney, with very few points of ingress and egress within your highway space. But I can tell you from the NEPA side of things and from the Parish Council side of things, when you see, and the NLA side of things, the number of land transactions taking place there, the number of the initial discussions that people have with NEPA and with the Parish Council around what they're planning to build there, we expect this to be the fastest growing area, I would say, going a little outside of the constituency to as far as Landover. You will see approximately 10,000 homes over the next 10 years, with Harmony Cove becoming a reality. I think, it's actually, if you like pinching yourself, this has been discussed for so long.
It's going to happen this time.
Yes, it really will. We've taken the steps in the Parliament for the tax incentives. Secrets is slated to come right to Priory there with, I think, 1,200 rooms. There's another development with another 1,200 rooms in the space. There's expansion of the cruise ship pier coming. We are working around the clock to ensure that the water infrastructure, sewage infrastructure, and an area that is not often spoken about, but is a challenge certainly for us, is the
How close the election will be?
Election today, construction has started. These are real announcements. When you look at what is to come over the next 6 months, long we have. So as I would have heard Senator Morgan, as you would have carried him live, it's the first administration, certainly in my lifetime, that's going to run on its achievements. It's going to run on credibility to say we haven't finished everything that we've committed to, but we have done enough to have the credibility to ask you for an additional 5 years.
All right, thank you very much, Matthew Samud. All the best.
Thanks,
Good. We're going to join the area council leader, Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie.
Labor rights! All my life you have been so good.
the goodness of God.
So labor rights.
I love your voice.
Tonight, we are in Western St. Andrew. And I hear my colleagues before have spoken about the representation that has been in this constituency for more than 50 years. This is one constituency that has been loyal to the PNP. This is a constituency that they count as one that is faithful and true to them. I ask you to look right across Kingston and St. Andrew. Ask yourselves, those of you who live in Western St. Andrew, ask yourselves what the PNP has done for you in the last 50 years that they have represented you. They can't point to one development in Western St. Andrew. They can't tell you what they have done to improve the conditions of the people living here. But you know, labor rights, this country should remember the late party founder and leader, Dr. Sir William Alexander Bustamante. The only thing I hear the MP talk about is Sandy Gully. That the Sandy Gully won't clean. Under their watch, the Sandy Gully has become a major jungle in the center of the city. Ask him how much money he has spent out of his allocation to even bush the bank of the Sandy Gully. They don't want to do it. Because if you don't know, in the 60s, when Sir Alexander Bustamante decided to build the Sandy Gully, the PNP, the same PNP party that the MP is supporting, criticized the GLP back then, call we gully government, that we have nothing to offer to the people of Jamaica. Well, I am thanking God for the vision of the gully government, because if we never had Sandy Gully, Kingston and St. Andrew wouldn't exist today. And it's the same people who criticize everything that is positive. It's the same people that has held the people of Western St. Andrew in bondage for over 40 years. Time come to get rid of the slave owners who have controlled Western St. Andrew. But labor rights, last week I told you that we're not going to back away from the PNP When they come, we're going to stand up shoulder to shoulder with them. Because Andrew Holness must get the respect he deserves in Jamaica, because he has earned the respect of every man and every woman in this country. And so because they can't counter our performance as a government, they can't find anything to talk about. We now put on new taxes on them. Crime is down. Employment is at a level that we have never seen it before. When I see the young people them turn out down at the conference center, it is the Jamaica Labour Party between the Ministry of Local Government and other ministries. Over 20,000 jobs will be made available for young people during this summer under a Jamaica Labour Party government. Ask them to name one summer program that they have ever initiated that have provided employment for so many young persons in this country. Our policies are sound. Our policies are built on a policy that puts in place all the things that are necessary to ensure that our policy works. And all they come with, them twist up mouth, them loose argument, not addressing the problems to say, what is it you are going to do better than what we are doing? And instead them come like them in a one big tenement yard. Every day them get up, them a trace, them a cuss people. We are not going to lower ourselves to that level. We have too much good things as a party to talk about. So labor rights, as we're getting ready, because let me tell you something. We are in the zone now. You know, I want to say one thing before I bring Matthew. I saw, well, my wife brought it to my attention because that is not something I like to read. She brought something to my attention about a poll. Now, when you look at the headlines, you would say that a headline like that, the story should back up the headline. Now, they are telling Jamaica, they're telling us something that we know, that the popularity and the people of Jamaica prefer Andrew Michael Holness any day over the other man. Our leader stock has risen. This man is on the decline. And when you read what them say, it's only a slight 8%. Now, can you imagine somebody a beat you for 8 seconds, 8 minutes, 8 hours, 8 days, 8 months, 8 years? You know how much beating that you are get? You know what is the difference between 8? So because they don't want to tell the country that the Jamaican people is fed up and tired of Chaka Chaka Mark and the PNP, the people them done with them.
Them can't run, them can't hide, them can't do what it. Labor right, I go mash them up, yeah. Labor.
But I am not watching that. I am telling you, labor rights, that they're going to come from all corners of Jamaica trying to gang up on us. But let me tell you something. Labor rights is going to stand up shoulder to shoulder. And I'm going to repeat it tonight. We're not going to surrender Jamaica to another PNP government.
We no mix and mingle. Nah. Remember we full of chips like Pringle.
And we're not going to allow cheap propaganda, mischief, misleading information. People without vision. The blinkers of them have on drop off. We are a party, a progressive party. And so tonight, labor rights, I want to bring now to address you the minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation with responsibility for water. Let's welcome Member of Parliament, Matthew Samuda.
Matthew Samuda. You know I come down there. Sure, like I had the other day, them find sitting on you for try. Andrew Wellness, him, I give the youth a better life. And to how him love the country, could you pick another side? A JLP, I will sweep our life. Keep yourself to yourself, no in a PNP. No couple show, man, no everybody dog. Loyal, no perfect dog.
Show our labor rights.
Shout, 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 shout.
Boy, it is always a joy to join the hard-working Labour Party family of Area Council 1. How look this evening? Show!
Shout, 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 shout.
Welcome to the fold, Mr. Dunkley. I look forward to welcoming you in Parliament after the Prime Minister fly that year. Deputy Leader Minister Desmond Mackenzie, thank you for the invitation. Colleague ministers, MPs, MP caretakers, councillors, councillor caretakers, senators, but most importantly, you, the hard-working workers of the Jamaica Labour Party, good to be with you this evening. Now, Western St. Andrew is a place I know better than most would realize. In my younger years, I was once chairman of the Seaview Gardens Football Club. So I'm very familiar with the fact that very little has taken place in this constituency. And the reality, labor rights, is that even though very little has taken place in this constituency, and you can drive and see the quality of the roads, you can drive and talk to residents and know about the water challenges, you can go on Boulevard and see the level of cleanliness in the area. Even with that, we're going to have to do the work if you're going to get rid of the PNP in this constituency. But labor rights, if ever time come, we need to tell them that them time don't know, because this is too much for the people of Western St. Andrew. Now, sometimes when you go through rural Jamaica, rural people sometimes have a feeling, Minister Williams, that sometimes them not getting them fair share and it's only rural Jamaica have problems. People wouldn't understand the amount of water challenges we find in this constituency in the industrial belt of Kingston and St. Andrew. And if one thinks about it, that the PNP out of the last 40 had 22 and a half years, 18 unbroken, and have held this constituency for as long as I can remember, one should be shocked at the level of water problems that we have found in this constituency. The PNP should be embarrassed that it is the Jamaica Labour Party under Andrew Michael Holness that has had to come, and just 3 weeks ago, we broke ground on a new water main, which is running from Ferry to Rock Pond, which will spend 1.4 billion Jamaican dollars to solve the water problem in this constituency. They should be ashamed of themselves
that Project Minister Williams will solve the water issues for this constituency, for Northwest St. Andrew, and for West Rural St. Andrew. It is a major investment in the transmission mains for this constituency. But you see, labor rights, when you listen to the comrades talk, you think that water problems start yesterday. They don't tell you that for 50 years there was little to no investment in the water systems. The last major water investment in this country before your government today was Edward Philip George Seaga when he put in the Yallas pipeline to fix Kingston and St. Andrew water problem. Since then, nothing to do. It has to be being fixed now by Andrew Michael Holness. Now, I don't know how many of you remember when they were widening the Washington Boulevard MP Terreland. The level of generalship, the level of hypocrisy when the PNP talk is prime and easy to see on Washington Boulevard. Them widen the road. When it come to the bridge, them thief a lane. It was supposed to be 3 lanes the whole way. Them thief 1 lane and bill for the 3rd. But worse than that, labor rights, they ran pipes, brand new pipes under Washington Boulevard and never ever connected them. So you're still using in Western St. Andrew the same old rotten pipes that was there 50 years ago because them take the money, waste the money, never connect water, and then tell you, oh, we don't know why you have water problem. Them are general, them lie, and them are hypocrite. How you feel lay pipe and not connect them? It is your government that this fiscal year is completing the connection on the bridge itself. That will fix the water supply for 30,000 people that live on the east and on the west side of Washington Boulevard, including your future constituency, Sir Dunkley. Labor rights, you know how much of a general you have to be if you run a pipe and not connect it? You know how much of a general you have to be if you lay a pipe on the side of the road when election come and take it up after you lose a seat? That is the legacy in water of the People's National Party. Your government, however, has invested some $12 billion over the last 4 years, and we have improved water supply for 150,000 Jamaicans so far. 150,000 Jamaicans that couldn't go in a them bathroom and use anything but a bath pan now can say shower. Labor rights, we're not finished yet. And we're not going to stand here and tell you that we don't have problems. We're not going to stand here and tell you that the work is yet complete. But we are telling you, based on the work that this government has done, that your government has done, that we have the credibility to go to the public and say, yes, you might have a water problem, but your government has developed the wherewithal, has shown the commitment, and has fixed it for enough people for you to know that we're coming to you next. It is why Minister Williams stood up in Parliament in her budget debate, and when we asked her for 10.1 billion Jamaican dollars this year, Minister Williams said it was the easiest decision she ever made because we need water in Jamaica, and every man, woman, and child must have water in them pipe. Labor rights, you have reason to be proud of your government. You have reason to stand up and beat your chest. But you have enough reason to tell people that if we don't reach your problem yet, to come into it next. In 2023, Kingston and St. Andrew had its worst drought ever. The worst drought in the history of Kingston and St. Andrew. And in that drought, Kingston and St. Andrew was short 12 million gallons of water a day. We have signed a deal with a private sector group, not incurring any debt to the people of Jamaica, not having to borrow any money. We are building a water treatment plant in Content, St. Catherine, that will bring 15 million gallons of water every single day to Portmore and to Kingston and St. Andrew, solving the water supply crisis that has been here for 40 years. Labor rights, there's a lot of work to be done. That work requires serious people who doing serious things, who not shouting time come, and talking about all sort of nonsense and telling pure lie. It requires people who understand what it takes to develop water systems, what it takes to correct the sewage issues in downtown Kingston, and how to run the economy in such a way that you have the money to do it. Labour rights, I'm proud to report to you today that for the first time in the Water Commission's history, the Water Commission has made a surplus 3 years in a row. It is no longer a fiscal risk to the government of Jamaica because of good management led by Andrew Michael Holness. Everybody who watched news from the days of Monty Perkins when he used to talk about the PNP know that every 2 weeks, every month, you'd hear the then Minister of Finance have to come to Parliament and ask for permission to bail out the Water Commission. And like that government of those days, that government of failure, this government coming to the Parliament every month and asking for the Parliament to approve major infrastructure works so that we can fix the water problems. We're not coming and saying we need a bailout. We're coming and saying we're here to bail out the people of Jamaica. Invest with us. Approve the projects. When you talk about projects and big money, somebody say, how that affect me personally? Well, Labour rights, let me tell you one way how good management of the Water Commission has affected you personally, has affected the pensioners of this country, the part beneficiaries, the disabled community. You remember conference last year, remember how GLP conference did nice? My favorite announcement from that conference with the Prime Minister was when he announced the National Water Commission amnesty for part beneficiaries, pensioners, and the disabled community. Well, Labour rights, I am happy to report here today that as of now, we have connected back over 9,000 Jamaican families back to the grid through that amnesty, returning dignity to their homes, returning water to their pipes. We, in connecting them, Minister Williams, have removed 1.7 billion Jamaican dollars of debt from the poorest among us who didn't have water in them house, even though pipe run across them yard. That is a government working for you. That is a government giving you your dividends. That is a government that cares and showing that it not only cares in its words, but that it is active and strong and can fix your problems, Labour rights. Labour Party, don't take things lightly. Do not believe that because we have simply done all the work, every single Jamaican recognizes how bad things were when we came in 2016. In 2016, Labour rights, I want you to know this figure. You needed 55 million gallons of water in Kingston and St. Andrew to supply the network every day. Today, because your government has been fixing leak right, left and center, right throughout Kingston and St. Andrew, relaying pipe, despite all the big building them you see go up, all the new road them you see wide, and all the new school them we build. We only need 38 million gallons of water every day in Kingston now because we take out the old leaking rotten pipe them. We are fixing water in Jamaica, Labour rights. Minister Mackenzie is fixing garbage collection. Minister Tufton is fixing health care. Dr. Chang has presided over a 44% reduction in murder. The Ministry of Finance, led by the first female Minister of Finance, Favour Williams, is presiding over a precipitous fall in the debt, Labour rights. Minister Charles is presiding over an expansion of the social safety net. But none of that matters if you don't take back that message to every single household, every PD, every community, every division and every constituency, because this country don't deserve to see back the PNP after what they did to us. This country don't deserve to play with the risk of losing Andrew Michael Holness. This country deserves a good government. We have done enough to make the case. But as the Prime Minister told us, we not do it. It is not owed to us. And if it is not owed to us, it means we have to go work for it. We have done the government work. Every part of national life is better under the Andrew Holness administration. But you, our workers, our loyal supporters, have to carry that message. Have to work with your councillors, have to work with your MPs, because God forbid you ever make them come back, them go and raid the barn, mash up this country and take us right back to the 1990s. in this season of choice, we're not asking you to make a choice because we say shower, shower, shower. We're asking you to make a choice because your government has done the work. Because the people you have sent to parish councils and to garden house have made you proud. We're asking you to support us because we navigated the worst global crisis in COVID while continuing to invest in your infrastructure, while expanding the social safety net and taking better care of poor people. We're asking you to support us in rural Jamaica because we care and we are investing in your children with the rural school bus system. We're asking you in urban Jamaica, get rid of some of the PNP candidates that have been there for 40 years. We sit down, John, and watch the place mash up and not take care of the place. Labor rights, this is a season of choice. We have made our choice. We have chosen Jamaica. We have chosen the people of Jamaica and put them above all else because they deserve a good government. They deserve prosperity. But labor rights make we go do the work. I am ready. I wonder, is the citizenry, is the constituents, is the workers of area council one ready? Let me hear your labor rights. MP in waiting, Dunkley. I have been dispatched to Northeast Centre, a place I quite love these days. But we will be here to support you. And Desmond Mackenzie, despite him sending me to Centre, is still my deputy leader. So if he calls, I shall answer. And we will be here to support every single candidate in Area Council 1. And I can tell you, labor rights, me no see no seat where we have now, where we can lose. No seat in the Area Council 1 where we have now can lose. But labor rights, we need a couple more. Area Council 1 has the power to deliver a couple more seats. Labor rights, me love you. It has been a pleasure to join you this evening. We have work to do.
Matthew Samuda, the MP for Northeast Centan. Yes, rallying the troops here at Edith Dalton James High School. Let's go back to the podium.
And we sure as hell can't make the PNP come in and tear up the plans we have to fix water and sewage in West Kingston. Labor rights, enough love, choose Jamaica, choose the Jamaica Labour Party. So,
vote for the best, vote for Jamaica Labour Party, straight from your heart.
Hold on, the waterman deserve a better hand than that, you know. Labor rights, last week Sunday, I had the privilege as your deputy leader to present to East Central St. Andrew the new constituency chairman and the man who will definitely be the party standard bearer in the next general elections. He's a young attorney at law with a bright future. He could have chosen to go somewhere else, but he chose the Jamaica Labour Party. What is it about the Labour Party that is attracting so many young people to come forward in the prime of their lives? And this evening again, in my capacity as your area council deputy leader, and a member of parliament in Area Council 1, to introduce officially to the constituency of Western St. Andrew the new hope for the rebuilding of a neglected constituency, neglected by the PNP who don't care about anybody. And so I want you to join me now in welcoming to the microphone this young man who had interests elsewhere. You know, when I got the message that he wanted to talk with me. Hold on. Leave the noise after the introduction. When he came to see me and we spoke, I said to him, why Western St. Andrew? Him said, Deputy Leader, there's a voice crying in the wilderness from the people for something new and different. And he says, I am prepared to take up the responsibility to deliver the people of Western St. Andrew out of the bands of slavery. Let's welcome your constituency chairman, Young Quarry.
Man, shell up the goddamn boy.
Donkey!
One bag of gold medal pan me no. Champion boy, you know the damn thing go. Pan a pour them a singing and temper. Man, shell up the goddamn boy. That's why everybody hate the champion boy. Have a rich gal in the Hamptons boy. The bush never made in the champion boy.
Show all your rights! Show all your rights!
Show.
One more. Louder this time. Show all your rights!
Show.
I must thank and acknowledge the Honorable Deputy Leader Minister Mackenzie for that heartfelt introduction and endorsement into Western St. Andrew. I must also acknowledge everybody who's on stage here, inclusive of members of parliament, other ministers, councillor caretakers, other candidates, and alike. I also take note of other councillors and councillor caretakers, other members of parliament that are in the audience. Thank you for your continued support, and I am very grateful for all of it. Because of the support I'm getting today from everybody here, I know that I will be the next member of parliament.
Show.
For St. Andrew Western. I am a lawyer by trade. I was born in 93. Curiously, that was the same time the other man that is there right now first took power. I was a baby in 93. I became a lawyer in 2020. 2025, I'm your next MP. In 93, the same problems that were prevalent in all of the constituency, including the roads. I can't even count how many roads they were touched since 93. I don't know what's happening right there. Flooding in New Haven is still an issue, even alligator sometime I hear it. The gully, that honestly, not sure if it's a water problem or a forestry issue, continues to get worse every day. In my 31 years, I have grown and gravitated towards the Jamaica Labour Party, and the constituency led by the bulldozers has just dropped and dropped and dropped. I know that this will not be an easy feat, and I will need everybody here and the support from all that is willing to give it to me. The chains of the other side can be broken easily with right-thinking Jamaicans like yourselves.
Me get that dream last night and it changed, tell me things all change.
Believe me, beautiful residents of my constituencies and supporters alike, we are on the verge of history. History for the party, history for the constituency, history for Jamaica.
History we making out. History we making out here. Above yourself, dry your face for the tear.
Don't make anybody discourage you and tell you that you shouldn't choose progress. You shouldn't choose prosperity. And you shouldn't want better for your country. Everyone here can see what has been happening in the constituency and knows the shortcomings, the misrepresentation, and the downright laziness of the guy that is there right now.
Changes in life, jump on a plane.
One thing that we cannot deny is the progress that Jamaica has made under the Jamaica Labour Party and will continue to make as we march into the third term.
Are we still a win? Whoa, are we still a win? We still a win. We still a win.
Yeah. I don't want to speak too long because I know it's getting kind of late. I know it's my platform and everything, but it's getting late. All right. I'll continue a little bit more, but First, I want to give a special thanks to Minister Mackenzie and the leadership of our great Jamaica Labour Party for accepting my application into the constituency. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the residents of the constituency for accepting me as your new representative and future member of parliament.
Them want know how to stop me. I'm living like a movie, watch me. Jump up in a jacuzzi, Ashley.
I would also like to thank former councillor, Miss Joyce Young. She still, to this day, champions the cause for Western St. Andrew. I would also like to thank former MP caretaker, Trevor Webb. And at this time, I would like to invite Councillor Caretaker Tina,
Shout.
Councillor Caretaker Joseph Gregory, former Councillor Caretaker Andrew Gill. The constituency is in unity, and we need all residents of the constituency to be in unity.
Love me farmer, them do me hard. You know the earth, one of them preach till they to the end, they promise stop family. I know this. I me say family. Sure. If I want thing, me hate a friend killer. Family. I know this. I me say family. Sure. If I want thing, me hate a friend killer. You no believe in a friend.
The area council is with us. The Jamaica Labour Party is with us. And we will take the seat and put it in its rightful place in the winning column.
From me a juvenile and the money I call me, call my daughter pick up pens and my son in hand.
Before we go home tonight, I would like to ask you, Labourites, for 3 things. Just 3. The first thing, choose Dunkley. The second thing, choose Jamaica Labour Party. And the third thing, choose Jamaica.
We're on a mission to lift up our communities. Jamaica Labour Party building shape prosperity. No, he never said that it would happen overnight. Still we laid the foundation to make the future right. We
Hold on, before we close, I want you to stand up because let me tell you something. This is what the future of Jamaica is all about. In the hands of young Corey Dunkley for the Jamaica Labour Party. I love you, Lord.
I love you, Lord.
Next week, Sunday,
for your
Fletcher's Land Community Center in West Kingston next week, Sunday.
From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head,
Labourites,
of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God.
Wave your fingers, Andrew Labourite.
'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Oh, yes, you have. I've been so good. Every breath that I am able.
Choose Jamaica.
Of the goodness.
Choose Jamaica.
Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me.
And so, Labourites, next week, Sunday, Fletcher's Land Community Center in West Kingston, we close with the playing of the party's anthem.
And that's how we bring a close to this special broadcast, paid political broadcast by the Jamaica Labour Party's Area Council 1 organization to introduce young 31-year-old attorney at law, Corey Dunkley, to the people of Western St. Andrew. The Labour Party, as you heard from Deputy Leader Mackenzie, believes he is one for the future of the party and Jamaica. That's where we're going to leave it. I want to say thanks to our producer, Damian Scarlett, our videographer, Brian Jones, our broadcast technical engineer, Mr. Jermaine Compass, our technical operator in studio, Damien Cunningham, and of course the members of our sales team. And to you for making it another special edition of Nationwide 90 FM We streamed it live on YouTube, and it's going to be several of these until the Prime Minister fly the gate and the elections are held and over. Yes? That's where we're going to leave it. I want to say thanks to you all. I'm Cliff Hughes, reminding you, take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor. Good night.
That was the St. Andrew Western Constituency Conference at Edith Dalton James High, brought to you by the West Kingston Constituency Office and the Jamaica Labour Party.
Tune in to Nationwide